So today I'm going to be going over what I would consider the must-own lens for anyone shooting on an a6000 series camera. That would of course be the Sony 35mm f1.8 prime lens. Now if you're a hobbyist or even a pro photographer or videographer, you know that you always need a good 50mm equivalent lens in your kit. The 35mm is essentially that. It is the go-to lens if you're going to be doing running and gunning and you really want to pack light and only have one lens on you. If you're just starting out and you don't know anything about cameras, 35mm on a crop sensor body like my Sony a6300 equals to about 52mm on a full frame camera. And 50mm is really the perfect go-to length because it's not too wide, but it's not too narrow either. Going over the build, this is an all metal construction. It feels solid, but it doesn't feel hefty. It's actually really light. Though if you see the size of it, it is actually pretty tiny. So I guess this is expected. Even the front glass element is actually pretty small for an f1.8 lens. And being an f1.8, it is going to be fantastic in low light and give you excellent bokeh. On a crop sensor body like this, your bokeh is going to be essentially equivalent to a 2.8 on a full frame lens, though it's still plenty of bokeh. You're still going to be able to blur out your background beautifully. Sony were nice enough, unlike most Canon lenses, to include a lens hood, so that's fantastic. Sharpness wise, this thing is fantastic, even wide open. Of course, at this price point, you're not going to get the sharpest image you can get wide open, but it does a pretty great job. But personally, I think the sharpness on this lens is superb. It's only being beat out by the Sigma 16mm f1.4, which I did a review on a little while ago if you want to go check that out for yourself. And of course, being a native Sony E-mount lens, the autofocus performance out of this lens is phenomenal. In my experience, performance wise, this thing has knocked it out of the park every time. I've never had any extreme issues with it losing focus or getting confused or anything like that. It always seems to nail its target and know exactly what you want in focus at all times. Even when you're doing fast pans or push and pulls, this thing seems to nail this target every time, and I'm really happy with it. If you're using an older Sony E-mount camera, the built-in stabilization is a must-have. If you notice, a lot of Sony's newer lenses do not have built-in stabilization. It's because they're all relying on the built-in stabilization of the camera. So to have it on this lens is actually really nice. Though again, being more of a budget lens for beginner videographers and photographers, it does not have weather sealing, so I would not recommend you get this wet. Overall, this is actually my favorite lens to use on my a6300. It's lightweight, it's super sharp, it's great in low light, it has fantastic bokeh. There's only one major issue that I have with it. The focus ring is impossible. Yes, the focus ring's smooth, but it's focused by wire, basically like all other Sony E-mount lenses. But with this one especially, I've noticed that the focus ring, just to pull focus between objects, you basically have to wrap around the entire lens. This basically makes it impossible to pull focus manually unless you have it mounted on something and you just have your focus puller just keep twisting and twisting until it gets the focus it needs. Out of all the cameras and lenses that I've used, this is honestly the most ridiculous amount of distance for focus pulling I've ever seen. Of course, you still can pull focus nice and smoothly if you're using the Sony a6500, and the only reason you can do it on the Sony a6500 and the newer cameras is because you're going to be utilizing the touchscreen. But on our older cameras, you're not going to be able to do it smoothly. It's really going to be more cumbersome. But that's about it. That's really the only gripe I have with the lens overall. Everything else seems to be fantastic. It seems to work perfectly well. But I still believe that this is the one lens you should buy if you just got into the Sony a6000 series cameras, or if you're looking to upgrade from the kit or whatever it is. This is the lens you need to buy in order to upgrade your kit and just take your videos to the next level. It's a great all-around lens. You're gonna get great low light performance, great bokeh, and it's extremely sharp. Honestly, you can't go wrong here, and this is definitely the one to get. And if you're interested in picking this lens up, I'll leave a link down below. It's gonna be an affiliate link. It's not gonna cost you any more money, but it'll really help me out, and I really appreciate it. Also, if you like this video, maybe consider subscribing or maybe even leaving a like if that's all you want to do, or you want to see any more of my face. Just give me a like, I'd really appreciate that too. But as always, my name is Joshua Joe Munoz. Stay sexy, and I'll see you sometime.